everybody. My name is V. Narendra Kumar and we are from NRK Academy. And today we have got this playlist, a series called Master Education, Primary Level. And it's a new holistic approach. So though the subjects and the topics are something which we have all heard, but we believe that this is a kind of new holistic approach to primary level of master education. Today in this video, we have the first video in which we talk about the first thing. What's the first thing that we have to understand really? The fundamental principle in primary education. First in pre-primary, these principles, I put it in the form of 3 principles. These principles could be most broadly followed. The first one is, it's a very little subtle and with little spiritual touch. It has this principle. In a keen and a pure observation. In a keen and a pure observation is a question, a wonder, a feel. And they're like a kind of question only. Okay, first I'll read out the 3. Second principle is, in a question is the answer of almost. This point will become clear in the 3 sets of points which I'm going to share later. And these are the 2 principles mainly. The first principle is, in a keen and a pure observation is a question, a wonder, a feel. What does this mean really? When you observe children, let's start from very pre-primary level, even a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old. If you carefully observe his actions, he's in a state of what Montessori called absorbent mind. He's looking everywhere. And his way of looking is something which you have to compare with some, these masters in music and masters of scientists, that kind of feel a child has, and we all know it. Though we have never put it in this form, and that's maybe the uniqueness of this video. So when a child looks at something, he looks at it with a very, very sharp, keen eyes. He might not know that he's doing that. Maybe the adults around might not be able to put it in words like that. But the simple example is when let's say somebody makes a loud sound, quickly the child turns. He's hypersensitive, hyper-absorbent. And that's how he learns language, isn't it? The thing is, suppose from childhood, let's say he's born in a musical family. Obviously, when the people are playing and they're talking about sounds and they're expressing their passions, all those vibrations of the sound, of the concepts they're talking about, even the words which they're talking about, this child is listening very, very deeply. He's receptive. In that is what I'm calling observation. So observation is not what usually we use the word senses. Let us say it's the observation of the whole being. The whole being is observing. You understand? And when he does that, like suppose he listens to music, he hears a certain sound. Let's say he hears a bird. The sound is coming right now. We listen to the sound and say, okay, it's a bird sound. We're not hearing it. But for child, it's like a pure sound. He would hear like a master of sound, a master of educator, a master singer. So now I can hear a bird sound. So those who are trained can easily understand what I'm saying. Those who are trained in music can easily understand what I'm saying. The same thing, a scientist would easily understand what I'm saying when I say that when a child is told something, like he's shown a moon and the child is told, like see something is on the moon. The moon is silvery in color. Look at the stars, so many stars. You have to guide him to keenly observe. You understand? And you can look at his face. I've done with hundreds of, it's become common and routine to me almost, that you can mesmerize a child. And he gives a mesmerizing look. You sing a song with feeling, he'll look at you like that. He'll look at you with wonder eyes. That is across the board. In fact, the whole of this video is based only on that one thing. And all that we have done later is that we talked about the subjects and how each has to be done and we put on the syllabus. That's all we have done in the coming 12 videos. So that is the point. Why do we say that when in a question is the answer? The first principle is, in a keen and a pure observation is a question, because there's a wonder, right? Like a child sees a lemon, let's say, and somebody points out that lemon, and he says, look, I'm putting the lemon inside the glass, and see, it's become big. For us, it's like, okay, some reason must be there. No, for the child, it's not like that. His observation is very keen, pure, whatever you want to call it. And the lemon becomes big in the water. Big, it bulges like that. In that bulging, he like staggered. What's the meaning of staggering? He can't answer it. Which means there's a question, right? Once the question comes into the mind of the child, once he gets that question inside his heart, the answer he needs, he's hungry for the answer. That is the biocentric natural ability of a child. Not only in that age, actually in any age. A good teacher, even an adult level can mesmerize an adult audience that way, if he has that passion and the communicative ability, or whatever you want to call it. That is a talent there, isn't it? We sometimes really see a movie. It's a very common example of movie, and some scenes touch us very, very deeply. Now, if we can be touched by a particular observation, or I'm using the word observation, then the child will be touched by everything. Because child in that age, and we'll have to agree with Montessori, we can agree, don't have to agree also, we can see any child, he is absolutely interested in knowing everything, doing everything. He's also doing, Doing is also kind of an observation. Notice, what is doing really? When a child is banging a spoon on the table again and again, what is he doing? He's like a scientist, like trying to explore things. He's wanting to beat and he wants to hear all that. A child is in an environment where he wants to know everything, wants to do everything, and he's filled with that natural spontaneous joy. That is the hardware, that is the natural hardware inherent in every child, even in us. The child in us, or whatever you want to call it. And then to bring it out requires, you can do it in an infinite number of ways. Now you yourself can do it. Just with this one video, if you understand this completely, you can go ahead and you can experiment with what you and the child can do together, right? In that relationship, in that harmony of being, or to use an Indian classical music, jugalbandi. You can do jugalbandi with each other, and you can learn. You can learn. So I think the essence of what we're going to do in the next coming 11 videos is very clear now. I repeat, in a keen and a pure observation is a question, a wonder, a feel. In a question is the answer, or I would say the seed is laid. Now we'll go ahead and say, what next then? How do we do it? Or rather, what do we do then? There's a reason why I'm using two words here. Next 11 videos or 10 videos is about what, the last video is about how you create activities. But we go directly into activities. That is the problem with primary education. We do not talk about the how. Last we talk about how the first, and we never talk about these deep things, these observations, feeling and all that. We never talk about it. And obviously because we never talk about it because we don't know. So that also we'll talk about what is required from us in the last video. So this is for this first video. We'll do it like a short videos in a series of 12 videos. So we'll meet in the next video with the second subject, and in the second video we'll be talking about, okay, what are the basic subjects in primary level? How do we understand those subjects? And they're the standard subjects. We have taken the standard subjects, history, geography, political economy. But in each, we'll talk about how exactly, what do we mean? And the history on the primary level means what? Geography means what? It can't be like abstract concepts, isn't it? So we'll come to that in the next video. Thank you so much.